Hi everyone, my name is Muhammad Junjun. I'm a third year student at the University of Goroka, undertaking Bachelor in Education, major in Chemistry. This is a group video presentation and is made up of 5 members. We all are undertaking the course EDY 2313, Managing Behaviors in Schools at the University of Goroka. The course coordinator itself is Dr. Kravia and the respective tutor is Mr. Yuasi. My colleagues and I are going to talk about unprofessionalism dressing in educational institutions. But before that, I'm going to introduce the presenters. I'm the first speaker and I will be introducing the topic. The second speaker will be addressing some unprofessional dressing commonly observed in educational institutions. And the third speaker is going to talk about some approaches or strategies or ways to address unprofessional dressing in schools. The fourth speaker will describe some theories on why faculty leaders and learners behave and dress the way they choose to, and finally the final speaker will be concluding by summing up our presentation. Without further ado, I will proceed. What is unprofessional dressing code? In every institution, dressing code are set of rules or guidelines set in order to guide professionals and learners to wear appropriate attires or clothes. Dressing code are implemented to teach us values, discipline, obedience, commitment, and respect for self and others. It promotes a positive working and learning environment, fosters a sense of belonging, and prepare learners to be responsible and obedient in different areas of their lives. Unprofessionalism in dressing is one of the major issues faced by faculty leaders and learners in schools and needs to be addressed seriously. If both teachers and students do not address properly, this is regarded as being unprofessional, which is obviously a reflection of their behaviors. They are indirectly indicating that they do not have respect and value others or even their profession. They are creating an environment which is not conducive for learning. Therefore, in this presentation, we will look at some of the unprofessional dressing in education institutions and ways to address these issues. Thank you, and now I give this time to the second speaker.
I am Deborah Mari, a third-year pre-service student undertaking Bachelor of Arts, Education, majoring History. I'm the second speaker. I'll emphasize on unprofessional dressing code. Dressing code is a major issue in every educational institution. Unprofessional dressing refers to wearing attire that is inappropriate, disrespectful, or not aligned with an institution's dress expectations. This often includes students wearing revealing clothing, ripped jeans, tight miniskirts, and outfits with offensive graphics or language. For example, in many educational institutions, some students attend class lectures in casual or even nightclub-style clothing, such as slippers, caps, dark sunglasses, and exposed midriffs. This trend is not limited to universities. Many high schools are also experiencing similar issues. Peer pressure, social media influence, and a lack of strict enforcement have contributed to the decline in proper dressing standards. In the past, students were more mindful of dressing modestly and respectfully, often wearing collared shirts, skirts or trousers, and closed shoes. Today, the rise of casual and sometimes inappropriate attire disrupts the academic atmosphere. Unprofessional dressing can distract other students and teachers, reduce the seriousness and respect expected in educational environments, and ultimately undermine the institution's image and credibility. It, it can also affect students' own confidence and the way they are perceived by others. Upholding a professional dress code promotes discipline, respect, and a focused learning environment, which are essential for academic success.
Hello, my name is Afiki Kevin and I'm a third year student pursuing Bachelor of Arts in Education, majoring in History. I am the third speaker and I will elaborate about the strategies for changing unprofessional dressing code. Basically, there are four ways which we can implement or carry out to address this issue. Generally, we know that people learn behaviors by observing others, especially those they see as role models. If students constantly see their peers, lecturers, or student leaders dress appropriately, they are more likely to imitate that behavior. The first strategy is institutions must ensure that lecturers and staff model professional dressing at all times. Secondly, awareness campaigns and orientation sessions should be held to educate students on what is considered professional attire. Visual aids, posters, and video clips can be displayed around the campus to reinforce this. Thirdly, institutions enforce their existing dress code policies fairly and consistently. Students who violate the dress code should be given verbal warnings and, if necessary, written notices. Positive reinforcement can also be used by rewarding or recognizing students who constantly uphold dressing standards. Finally, student leaders and class representatives should be empowered to speak up and set examples within their own groups. By using Bandura's approach, we can change the norm through consistent role modeling, reinforcement, and peer influence. With that, thank you.
Hello, I'm Zara O'Connor, a third year pre-service student undertaking Bachelor of Arts in Education, majoring in History in the University of Goroka. I'll be stressing on the theories that explains why unprofessional dressing code is practiced in all educational systems by both the teachers and the students. There are different methods or perspectives that are used within a theory to explain how human behavior is learned, shaped, and changed over time. According to bad behavior or negative behavior mentioned, here are two theories which approaches the unprofessional dressing code in the schools. The two theories are: number one, social learning theory by Bandura. Bandura suggests that observation plays a critical role in learning, meaning people learn behavior by observing others, especially elders, role models, and peers. For example, students see the peers, older students, or even teachers dressing casually or inappropriately without consequences. They may imitate that behavior. So, in other words, students and teachers' dressing code be influenced by observing others around them. Number two, ecological theory by Yuri Bronfman. It emphasized that a child's own biology is a primary environment fueling a development, meaning the type of environment the child is raised reflects the type of behavior or the type of person they become. For instance, a child who is raised under a family who promotes decent dressing will probably be able to dress professional, and the child who grew up in the environment that family does not care about how they dress will always reflect it through his or her dressing code in schools and in other occasions. Now, theories approaches unprofessional dressing codes in schools differently. Some see it as learned behaviors, others as reflection of identity, social influence, or cognitive development. Understanding this perspective help educators develop more effective dress code policies and inventions.
Hi, this is Belinda Mack,
currently doing third year at the University of Goroka, enrolled under the program Bachelor in Education, Science, majoring chemistry. I'll be concluding the presentation by summing up the main points discussed. Earlier, my colleagues talked about unprofessional dressing, theories on behavior development, and strategic development required to improve such negativity in educational institutions. Dressing improperly, such as wearing of too tight or too exposed clothes, or uncombed hairs with red locks, butternut stained teeth, wearing of caps and hoods in school campus and classroom is considered unprofessional for someone who is educated to become a professional. Our behavior, the way we act, think, and do things is the prime contributor towards how an individual dresses, either professionally or unprofessionally in an institution. The two behavior development theories mentioned earlier stated how human behaviors are shaped and altered by factors such as family, peers, faculty leaders, the environment, and etc., which can affect how a person dresses and so many other things. Dressing professionally in an educational institution is considered most paramount because, number one, it signifies respect for the institution, faculty, and peers, creating a more positive and conducive learning environment. Number two, it helps to set a tone of seriousness and commitment to teaching and learning. And number three, it helps boost professional and learners' self-confidence, ultimately leading to greater academic successes and professional pursuits. Therefore, it is to a greater importance that we must apply the strategies for changing unprofessional dressing, which were mentioned earlier, to improve dressing code in an educational institution. This will further create a conducive and better environment for professionals and learners in an educational institution, ultimately leading to a high academic success. With that, thank you for watching, and we hope you learn more than just watching. Cheers.